Hi, pipe smokers. Yeah, my name is Paul Gilson, aka Paul the Pipe Guy, live from the outskirts of Rochester, New York, in the United States of America. Thank God. Yeah, and my guitar calendar here. Look at that beautiful guitar. That thing is smoking hot. Tells me that it is September 8th, 2023. Yeah, and as you can see, look at the dirt on my face. Some of you are probably wondering what the heck is up with that. I look like the Tin Man. Well, we've been working with aluminum all day, and I just walked in the door. So we're going to freshen up a bit, and I'll be right back in a nanosecond. Alrighty, pipe smokers, so we're back. Yeah, look, I'm all nice and clean. I've got my good glasses on. My hands are mostly clean as I could get them without taking a shower. All right? Yep. And these glasses do not go to work. They actually have a little tortoiseshell on the side. They're brand new, and they're invisible bifocals. Yeah. And whereas at work I wear actual prescription safety glasses with visible bifocals. So anyways, let's get right to the point. I'd like to name this video, and it's about purchasing, you can call them estate pipes, you can call them vintage pipes, used pipes, whatever. They all mean the same. Pretty well, they don't all mean the same. A vintage and an estate pipe usually means that it's older, and a used pipe could maybe be a year to 10 years old, not be a vintage pipe, but it's used. And so I make most of my purchases from eBay. Now, there's some people that buy, let's just call them, for a blanket coverage, estate pipes. And they'll go to garage sales and this and that and buy that. I don't have time to run around to garage sales and all that stuff, so I like eBay. So let's call this video The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So I've purchased, and I'm not bragging, but I've made probably 150 purchases of used pipes. And I've done well with some of them. I've done not so well with some of them. And I've done horrible with some of them when I first started, until I learned the technique that I use. And pipe smoking for me actually started back in April of 2019. So that's been about 4.5 years. And the first pipe I bought was brand new. I went to a smoke shop and I decided, you know what, I want to smoke a pipe. It might help me to, you know, smoke less cigarettes, whatever. That was my reasoning. And so I purchased this Dr. Grayboe, which I'm not going to do a pipe review on it, but you could use a filter. And it was like $39 or whatever, brand spanking new, and doesn't have the shine it used to have because it's gotten a lot of use. This was the only pipe that I owned for over a year. And with it, I bought a 50-gram little pouch of Captain Black Cherry Aromatic tobacco. So I brought the pipe home, and I was like, geez, how do I smoke this out of... So I did my research on YouTube, you know. And this is a great smoker, you know. And so, yeah, the Captain Black, I didn't try anything else. Didn't really know anything about tobacco. And there's many of you that know far more than buying estate pipes, buying new pipes, buying tobacco, all of that stuff, Pipedia stuff. There's thousands and thousands of people that know way more than I did, but all of a sudden I found it a passion. to me. And so I put 20 to 30 hours a week into research and stuff and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And so, you know, I wanted to learn more and more about pipe smoking. So over the past 4.5 years, I have gotten a little bit of information about that subject up here and collecting pipes and so forth. But I still pale in comparison to many. So what I'm going to share with you is what I've learned through trial and error and mistakes. So let's start something on fire. All right. Now, so I bought this in April of 2019. It's a Dr. Grayboe. It doesn't have a bowl number or anything on it. The briar is just phenomenal. These actually, Dr. Grayboes were known as like a drugstore pipe, but they're still made in the USA and they're great smokers. And back in 6 of 2020, I decided I was going to buy some bulk. And so I bought like 3 pounds because Paul the Pipe Guy doesn't do anything half-assed. So this has been in here since 6 of 2020. It's Captain Black Cherry Aromatic in a mason jar, a ball jar, whatever you want to call it. It's still fresh. It's still moist. It has the original, you know, amount of humidity in it. So we're going to pause the video. We're going to load this up. And then we're going to go smoke that and talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, not necessarily in that order. Yeah, we'll be right back in a nanosecond. All right, so we're back. Let's start something on fire. So we have our Captain Black Cherry Aromatic. I obviously smoked the 50-gram packet that I got, but this, and I'm a freak about dating stuff, all right? I like to write everything down, all right? So this was jarred 6 of 2020, Captain Black Cherry Aromatic. And it's fresh as the day that I got it. So it's been aging in this mason jar for 3 years and almost 3 months, so almost 39 months. Let's start it on fire. I've already done the char light, yeah, and that tobacco rose up. You can tell if your tobacco is dry or not. If your tobacco is dry, well, you'll feel it. I won't even touch on that, but this one, it was a full bowl. As soon as I lit it, it rose right up. That's... well, I can tell by feeling it. So let's start it on fire. Now, I will tell you, not to get into a tobacco review, that some tobaccos will give you what's called tongue bite. And I found very quickly, coming home smoking this pipe, my tongue started to hurt. I was like, what's going on? And then I saw a video on YouTube about tongue bite. And some aromatics are very acidic. I won't get into tongue bite. Google it. So we're going to set this down. Oh, this cherry aromatic, the smell is just unbelievable, and it tastes great, and it has mellowed out. I have graduated since then. I have found, let's just say, several other blends that I have multiple tins of in my cellar, and that's all I'm going to say. So let's get to it. We've already been going on for 10 minutes. Let's talk about the good. The good was I bought this Dr. Graybow pipe for less than 40 bucks, brand new. First pipe. All right, now let's go to the bad. Rule number one is when you're buying a pipe, whether it's new, used, vintage, estate, whatever you want to call it, you're buying it online, do not, this is rule number one, do not be intoxicated. Now, if you want to have, you know, a glass of wine, maybe two, or maybe a pint of beer, maybe 2 pints of beer where you're a little relaxed, but you're still sharp, you have to do that. I mean, if you're intoxicated, or your judgment's going to be skewed and you're going to miss things, all right? Rule number two is read, read, read. Before you hit that buy button or make an offer button, all right, look through the entire description of the pipe. Study every single picture. Some of the people on eBay, 99% of them are very, very honest people. Some of them don't know anything about pipes. They just came across this, or maybe a relative's pipes, and they're selling them. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll be like, you know, the pictures describe the item under item description. So you really have to look through the pictures, expand them, blow them up, all right? If it has a description on it, you need to study the description. Do that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, but you have to be sober. Otherwise, you're going to miss things, and you're going to make mistakes, and it's going to cost you. And when that pipe comes in, you're going to be disappointed, and it's all your fault for having too many of these. By the way, cheers. Yeah. My first Genesee beer made in Rochester, New York, right here where I live. Let's look at an estate pipe that I did very well on. All right. And I bought this about 2.5 years ago, and I'm not going to get into describing the entire pipe, but that is a gorgeous pipe. Excuse the grime under my fingernails. I cleaned my fingernails once. I haven't taken a shower. It doesn't matter. But you can see the briar on that. That is a Dunhill that was made in 1937. And before I put an offer in on it, I actually looked up all the markings, okay? And so here's another rule to watch, okay? Look at the markings on the pipe. All right, now you might not be able to see this on the video, but I'm looking at it here. Everything is clear. The nomenclature, there's a good stamp on it. The bowl number has a good stamp. All the letters and numbering have a good stamp. You know, sometimes when people hold the pipes and stuff like that and they use them, you know, it wears down the wood and so forth. Or sometimes they get refinished. All right. So that's another thing that you want to look for. The other thing you want to look for is that, you know, the pipe, the crown of the pipe hasn't been chewed up because somebody's just taken a jackknife and cleaned it out or whatever. So I actually got, this is a good buy. So this was one of those moments that I saw it and I might have had 1 or 2 pints of beer too much, but you know, I wasn't drunk or anything like that. And I was like, wow, that's nice. And here's the thing, on eBay or some of the places that sell pipes online that are vintage or used or estate, They'll offer a description and pictures and so forth. You have to study that 8, 9, 10 times over and over and over and over and over and be sober. And sometimes, a lot of times what they'll do, they can either put them up on an auction, all right, where you can make a bid on them, or they can put it, here's the buy it now price, or make an offer. With this particular pipe, I'm not going to tell you the price that it was. No, I'll tell you. It was 250 United States dollars. I did some research on the pipe. It was worth that easily, if not more. And it had a make an offer price. And I was like, I put in $150. Well, the next day I woke up, my offer was accepted, and I was like, I just spent 150 United States dollars. And I was like, you know how you get buyer's remorse a little bit, but I was like, no, you know. So I'm glad I got it, you know. I earned it, and that is one of the good purchases that I made. I'm not bragging about it or the pipe's value or anything like that. I'm just saying I did well on it. It's like pristine, almost like brand new out of the box, made in 1937. Now, the other thing that you want to look for on estate pipes is guys like Brad the Bearded Piper or clenchers. All right, you always look at this part to see if it's been chewed. It's got a little bit of bite mark there, very hardly unnoticeable. You could really take it to a pipe guy and have it polished out, but I just wanted to leave it like it is. So that is one of the best purchases that I made. We won't talk about that anymore. Let's talk about the ugly. And I'll be right back after this station identification. We've gone on for 17 minutes. I hope everybody's still there. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. I don't know. I could go on for hours about purchasing estate pipes. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. So we've gone over a few basic rules. Never buy a pipe if you're intoxicated or anything online. You're going to make bad decisions. Look at the item at least 9 or 10 times. Read the full description. Email the buyer. And don't be afraid to make an offer. Research the pipe. All right. Some things that to really look out for, in my opinion, okay, is fit and finish. Let's look at something that I purchased that I was happy with, and I actually saw what it was, but I liked it, and it was a fair price, and I wanted it. Okay, I bought this. I can't read it. It says Sunrise on it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're not doing a pipe review, but that one, that's a Canadian style pipe. All right. And so I actually looked at it. All right. I saw, okay, the stem is not chewed up. And they showed the inside, and I was like, all right, well, you know, that looks good. And then they showed the top of the bowl. And I don't know if you can see it from the camera, but it looks like someone's cleaned that out. You can see it just a little there, a little jagged edges, not too bad. Looks like somebody cleaned it out with their jackknife. This is a very old pipe. All right, so they cleaned it out without reaming it out. That can easily be fixed. You can actually, I won't get into it, but it can be easily fixed. That little bit of gnarl that's on there, all right? And the other thing, okay, so I look at let me repeat that again. I look at the stem to make sure it's not all chewed up or anything. I look at the fit, the finish, and then on this particular pipe, I really liked it. The briar is beautiful, but you can see what's called sand holes on this. I believe this is the pipe that has sand holes. No, I'm a bit unprepared. Let's look at this one. This is another pipe, a Canadian style pipe, gorgeous briar. Beautiful, gorgeous briar. I bought this bite-proof stem, all right. It didn't have a lot of teeth chatter on it. A little bit right there, not too bad. That could actually be polished out, all right. But if you actually look at the pipe itself, all right, it's got a couple little dings there, and it's got what's called a sand hole there, and it has what's called a sand hole there. You can see it pretty good on the video. Now, a sand hole, basically, when the briar grows, all right, sometimes dirt or sand will get into the root of the briar. So when the pipe maker is making the pipe, all of a sudden they'll be making it and be like, oh, geez, you know, there's a hole here, and it's got dirt in it. So what they do is they do what's called a factory fill. Now, not to get into Pipedia stuff too much, but you look at a K-Woody pipe like this, all right? K-Woody own their own briar company. K-Woody, you'll never find a factory fill like that. But I like the pipe, and the price was right, so I made a good decision. It's got a little teeth chatter on that, all right? So that's not so bad, not so ugly. You know, I don't remember what I paid for it. It's a great smoker. Yeah. And this one is an Imperial Bite Proof. All right. And it's Algerian briar, which is supposed to be great briar. I don't know. We'll set that one aside. So now let's look at the good. Oh, you're going to love this. All right. So I was sitting here one night and I wanted another pipe, and I was actually on a GBD mission. I collected K-Woodies. I have over 60 K-Woody pipes, okay? Studied K-Woodies for a few years. I liked K-Woodies because the briar was so beautiful. So then I found out there's GBD. This GBD, gorgeous briar, no factory fills, unsmoked. And it's got a silver medallion there. I'm not going to tell you what I paid for it, but it's worth a lot more than what I paid for it. That is the good. I was astute, and what I did is I sniped this pipe. Now, on eBay, all right, if they don't have a make offer or whatever, there's, you know, let's say they're just auctioning it off. You can actually put it on your watch list, all right, and maybe you want to make 1 penny over whatever their current bid is. But look at that briar. I mean, that is phenomenal. That one I got a good deal on, all right, because what I did is I had to stay up till midnight, all right. I'm sitting here watching it. I'm watching the current bid. And all of a sudden, it's 10 seconds before the bid ends. And what do? I sniped it. What I did is I put in what I felt I wanted to pay for it, which was $40 or something more than the current bid, with 5 seconds left. Boom! And guess what? I got it. Unsmoked. I could sell that. I mean, that is a good buy. And you GBD people, look at that. Unsmoked. All right. So we're going on 25 minutes here. Another really good one that I got, and I wasn't really familiar with this, but it's a Meerschaum pipe. This was, I felt, was a good buy, and I don't remember what I paid for it, but it's a Belgravia Meerschaum pipe. Gorgeous briar, never smoked. Meerschaum lined, all right? And, you know, there's no teeth chatter or anything, but the stem needs to be polished, whatever. That was a great buy. I sniped that one. I waited 5 seconds before I had it on my watch list, and I sniped it, okay? Now, let's talk about the ugly, and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So here's the ugly. So the story behind this pipe, and it looks like a gorgeous pipe, doesn't it? It does. I mean, you know, it's a little burnt on the top, but you know, you can take care of that, and there's ways to take care of that. I can do that. I won't get into restoring pipes or anything, but I have done it. So I'm looking at this pipe. This actually is one called a Silversmith Sterling. So it's a briar pipe, all right, and it has a sterling overlay on it. And I'm looking at it and like, man, that's a gorgeous pipe. And this one was probably my biggest mistake. All right, I was at a friend's house. Won't get into it. It was in the wintertime. And we were having some adult beverages, and we were looking at pipes, and I was like, wow, that's beautiful. So I just did the buy it now, and I won't even tell you what I paid for it. When it came in, that's what I got. Here's the stem. It's chewed through. All right? And the other side of it, half, you know, a third of the plating, or however they do that, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can see it, you know, there it is right there. You know, it's sterling silver. It came in, and I was just like, oh, man, what the F? And I went back, and this was one of those pipes, the pictures describe it, and I paid, I'm not even going to say, but, and I was just like, now, you know, the eBay seller had like 100% positive review, all right, but, okay, when Brad the Bearded Piper dies, like 50 years from now, all right, his estate collection is going to look like that. Chewed through. Somebody gnawed that through. Yeah, just like that. That was a big mistake. Let's go to the next one. Now, this is a beautiful pipe right here. That is a K-Woody 600. And I looked at it, and you know, you can't see it on the video, but all the stamping is perfect. It almost looks unused. You know, you look inside that. I mean, I've used it. And then with K-Woody pipes or other pipes that have a stinger system, this is a condenser that reduces the heat. So they claim from 850 degrees down to 82 degrees. All right. If you can get a mint, I mean, look at that. If you can get a mint K-Woody 500 or 600 series, the K-Woody 500 or 600 series was made between 1957 and 1969. All right. And they were so popular that they ran out of the standard briar, and they all of a sudden were using like super grain briar. Look at that briar. No factory fills. You got to remember, K-Woody had their own briar company. Any briar that was rejected from K-Woody after they made a pipe, they sold it to Yellow Bowl or other companies. that was a great buy. All right, now here's another one. Here's a K-Woody here. This one is a K-Woody 500, all right. Yeah, gorgeous briar. Here again, I might have had a pint or too many beers. I'm looking at the briar. Oh, that's gorgeous. All right. It comes in, the stem is sawed off, or the condenser sawed off. In other words, you look at this K-Woody, all right, that's what it's supposed to look like, with a ball on it like that. Well, a lot of the old guys, all right, what would happen is they went from a full 4-hole stinger. There was 4 holes, so the draw was really good. Then they dropped down to 3 holes. A lot of the old guys still love the K-Woodies, so they would take a hacksaw and hacksaw it off. Well, that kills the value. So, I mean, I got this pipe, and I didn't realize, I didn't study it and look at all the pictures. My mistake. Yeah. So that's the good, the bad, and the ugly of buying estate pipes. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is what I use: Decatur, Pipe Shield, no buff wax. I have one more if my video will let me have time. This one is a disaster. I got to find it here. It's on my table. My phone might shut off. This one I ordered with a pipe rack and a bunch of pipes. Look at that. It's got a huge crack in the side. All right. It's been sanded down. It's a K-Woody. It's been sanded down and varnished. Okay. And it does still have the stinger. All right. But it's been sanded down, varnished. It's been overheated, blah, blah, blah. Sanded down. It's got a huge crack in it. When I got this, it had so much carbon buildup, you couldn't even fit a cigarette in there. But what I did, I reamed it out enough where I left a lot of carbon in it, all right, but not enough to open that crack. That's a great smoker. I got that for about $6, and I'm happy with it. Anyways, I'm Paul the Pipe Guy. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was long, but if you have any questions about estate pipes or anything, contact me. You know, I've made enough mistakes. And I've had a few successes. Paul the Pipe Guy, over and out.